Okay, Ty, I made you co-host so you can start the class. As soon as Rachel jump in, I'll make her the co-host and make you host again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So nice to see all of you. I'm going to go share my screen now and we'll get started with the housekeeping stuff. Let's see. Welcome to Tai Chi. Now, this is the intro class. We call it Why Tai Chi is Great for Seniors. And by intro, I mean, I'm going to give you a little bit of background information on Tai Chi and a little bit of information on the current sequence of forms that we're practicing. And then we're going to do a little bit of practice, not as much as a normal class, but we're going to do a little bit of practice so you'll get an idea of what it's like in a typical class. So, my name is Tai. I live in Central Florida, just outside of Orlando in the US. I have a background in biology and psychology and computer science, but I actually retired from being a consultant to hospitals and medical centers on their data. So I went around teaching a lot of classes. So in my retirement, I teach mindful practices, which is primarily Tai Chi and Kundalini Yoga. I also teach mindfulness and meditation, but not currently on the GetSetUp platform. I personally am a stress survivor. Back in the 1980s, stress almost killed me. I worked in a corporate job at a medical center, and we had so much created stress. It wasn't even necessary stress, it was created. And I was too young and foolish to realize that I should pass it off or learn tools to deal with it better. So I accepted all the stress and just thought if I worked harder, it would get better. Well, it almost killed me. So once I did start learning about meditation and mindful practices, it saved my life. I'm drawn to Tai Chi because it not only is a meditation, it's also a movement practice, which I need. I suffer from peripheral neuropathy and I have balance issues. So Tai Chi helps me with all my problems, my balance due to the peripheral neuropathy and helping me deal with stress better. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for Tai's problems. We're here today on GetSetUp. It brings us together, seniors talking to seniors. Now, this is a movement practice today, so ideally, you'll have your camera on so I can get some feedback from you because I want to know how it's going and how you're doing. That helps me know what to say next and where to go next. But if you don't want to turn on your camera, don't. Totally happy just the fact that you showed up. But maybe at a future class, you'll get comfortable and turn the camera on. There is a recording of today's class going on. And if you want a copy of it later to review or use as a training aid for your home practice, just email help@getsetup.io. If you're joining by live stream, we're really glad to have you. But be aware that the best way to participate is to register for a class and show up live with us. I'm going to give you some information at the end of the class of how to find specifically my classes on GetSetUp. Do be aware that GetSetUp does not market or promote any specific products. Now, today's agenda, we're going to talk about what is Tai Chi. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a history of what are the styles and schools of Tai Chi and how did they come about. Not a lot, just a little. We'll talk about the components of Tai Chi. Most important and why it's great for seniors is the benefits of Tai Chi. And then we're going to discuss and show you a demo of what's a Tai Chi class like. What will you be doing in a Tai Chi class? Let's start with a little history lesson. Tai Chi was developed in China several thousand years ago. It was formalized and documented by Chang San-Feng in the late 13th century. It's based on the concept of yin and yang balance and how that affects everything we do in life. A simple concept of yin and yang are opposites: soft and hard, fast and slow. Basically, these are the balancing act that affects everything we do in our life and affects the quality. So Tai Chi is an effective movement practice for mind and for the body. It came from something called Qigong. Qigong was the original development of a therapeutic way of dealing with our health issues and making us healthier. It's focused on energy movement in the body. And even today, there are places in China where there are Qigong hospitals. There's some where you can walk in the door and say, no, I want allopathic, which is what's called for our traditional Western medicine, or I want Qigong, or I want a combination. So it's still very much followed and used in China as a healing practice. So Qigong was taken and put into a flowing sequence of multiple Qigong forms, and Tai Chi was created. The nice thing about Tai Chi is, even though there's great depth in it, you never can stop exploring it because there's always another deep layer to explore, but it's easy to learn. And you can quickly pick it up and start getting the health benefits. But I will warn you, it's a little addictive. It's a good addiction, but it can become a lifetime journey. Once I started it, I can't stop. Now, all the styles or all the schools are basically the same principles. They all use the same principles. It's about integrating the mind with the body. I refer to that as balance and mindfulness. It's about fluidity of movement based on how your body is aligned. Well, that's posture. And again, balance and becoming more aware of the body. Again, that helps with balance too. It also helps with mindfulness. I don't like this phrase control, but it's supposedly based on control of breathing. I call that breath awareness, being more aware of your breath. It's not really controlling it other than making sure you constantly breathe. Mental concentration. Tai Chi requires focus. It's easy to do, but it requires focus. And again, that focus leads you down the mindfulness route. Now, Tai Chi practice, well, you can do it alone, but it's a lot more enjoyable to do it with other people. It can be done as an aerobic exercise. It always helps to improve flexibility, balance, coordination, and strength. No matter how slow it goes, you are working to build in so many directions. And the slowness is actually a very big positive in the practice because it has meditative qualities. These qualities will help you relieve stress because it helps you clear the mind. The slower you go in your practice, the deeper you can go into the practice, the more focused you become with the practice, the more benefits you get from the practice. Supposedly, the average session time is around 15 minutes. I would say practice for what you're comfortable with. 5 minutes a day is a great starting point. If you will actually practice 5 minutes a day, in no time, you're going to start reaping the rewards. That doesn't mean in a month you're not going to be doing that 15 or 20 minutes, because you probably will. It sort of grows on you and you grow with it. But my proposal is you come to class as often as you can, practice with me, and if you should so choose, create a home practice of 5 minutes a day when you're not in class with me. Now, more history. The most ancient school or style of Tai Chi that's documented is called Chen, Chen. It's from the Ming Dynasty, and I keep meaning to look up the dates of that because I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's very ancient. And it's based on contrasting and complementary. There's that yin yang again. Contrasting and complementary movements. Slow versus fast. Hard versus soft. Fast, low kicks and jumps. And before you panic, we're not going to be doing that. We won't be doing any low kicks. We won't be doing any jumps. We won't be doing chin style in this class ever, because it promotes low stances like low squats, powerful explosive movements. It's known for being difficult, physically demanding, and it's the closest style of Tai Chi to a martial art. I don't practice Tai Chi as a martial art. I never will. I didn't even when I was younger. It's just not my interest. If you're actually interested in martial art form, I would recommend you go to the next level and study Kung Fu. The next school that was built on Chin is Yang. Yang was a student of Chin. He studied in the early 1900s. You can see it's quite a bit later. He developed the Yang style, which has higher stances, not so much bending of the knees, a gentle, slow, expansive movements, a little bit wider reach, and definitely slower. But this makes it suitable for more people, which was his goal. He thought Chin was just too restrictive. No explosive power, no jumps, no stomps in the Yang form. I do practice a little bit of Yang, and eventually I'll bring some to class, but not yet. But Yang is suitable for me at my age. Hao, H-A-O, has quick, complicated movements. I don't practice Hao, even though I have studied it a little bit. Wu, it's very similar to Yang. No, I didn't study Hao. I'm sorry. I studied Wu. Wu is similar to Yang, but the postures are more upright and uses leaning. I like Wu, but I'm not comfortable with the leaning because of balance issues. I want the Tai Chi to help me be more balanced, and the leaning actually throws you off balance a little bit. Now, the Sung style, it's the latest. It's based on all the same principles, but it has a few different features and characteristics. And let's talk about Sung style. It's spelled S-U-N, so it looks like I'm mispronouncing sun. The Sung style Tai Chi uses higher stances. That means you use soft knees. You don't bend the knees. You just keep the knees sort of soft and a little bouncy. It's a lot easier to learn than the other forms and a lot easier to practice. It's gentle, flowing, continuous movements, which makes it much more meditative. It's probably the farthest from martial arts of any of the schools. It's compact. You don't need a lot of space to practice. I always recommend 3 feet by 5 feet is the maximum space you'll need to practice your Sung style. But it has depth. Sung style has so much depth that there is no end to exploring it, even with the simplest of forms. You can take one form from Tai Chi. You can take the simplest of Tai Chi forms and not bother learning any of the others and just explore that form deeper and deeper and deeper for the rest of your life. That's the amazing thing about Tai Chi. There's no end in the depth of the exploration. Now, let's talk about what Tai Chi can do for me, or what Tai Chi can do for you. Well, it's going to help promote good posture. We're going to constantly reinforce of how we should stand up straight with our torso and head as one unit. Standing up straight with good posture also takes care of your joints. There's less wear and tear. Opens up the chest for more lung space. And this one is very important to me, and I think most seniors. It helps prevent falls because it improves our balance. Part of that improvement of balance is becoming more aware of your body. When you know where your body is, where you are in space, where you're going next, you're less likely to lose your balance. And even if you do start to lose your balance, you know where your body is, and you sometimes can catch yourself instead of taking that fall. It'll improve concentration because we have to focus to practice our Tai Chi and hopefully enjoy it. It will promote deeper relaxation. And if there's anybody who doesn't want deeper relaxation, I've never met them. And that in itself promotes better handling of stress. We actually can trigger what's called the relaxation response in Tai Chi. There's 2 responses that have been defined by an MD. I can't think, Benton. Dr. Benton defined stress response when we do get stressed, and the relaxation response when we deal with that stress and relax it, release it, and allow the body to recover. Well, this always existed. He's just formally defined what it means in our body. Well, when you do Tai Chi, you automatically start initiating that relaxation response. That counteracts the stress that you've been dealt. It's actually an antidote to stress. Overall, Tai Chi helps you improve your spirit. You walk away from your Tai Chi with a better mood. Hopefully, during the session, too, you'll get a better mood. Overall, you're happier. We talk about smiling during Tai Chi. If you don't smile with your mouth, smile with your eyes or smile with both. Overall, you increase your life energy. When we move energy in our body. When we move energy in our body, we create more energy. Your life energy grows stronger and stronger with these movements. Maybe some of these points sound like something you want. Maybe they sound useful to you. Personally, at my age, they all are very, very important to me. I want to preserve my joints. I want to protect them. I want to avoid falls. I want to deeper relax and deal with stress better. I want to be happy, and I want to have more energy. Oops. So who are people that might want to practice Tai Chi? Well, if you suffer from any arthritis, I have some mild arthritis in my hands. My knuckles and the joints ache. And this is amazingly good for that. Anything that deals with bending the knuckles is good exercise to it won't prevent the arthritis, but it'll help deal with the symptoms. Peripheral neuropathy, that's nerve damage, typically in the hands and feet. And I have it in both places. The peripheral neuropathy in the feet makes it hard to keep your balance, makes it easier to fall, which goes right into number 3. If you have any sort of balance issues, then you're a person who probably should practice Tai Chi, and you may want to. Flexibility issues. We need to stay flexible as we mature. Otherwise, we're going to get stiff, and all kinds of other problems come from being stiff, including falls and fall recovery. The stiffer you are, the more likely you're going to get injured if you do take a fall. Somebody who's stressed might want to practice Tai Chi. And I'm sure that's none of us. None of us actually suffer stress, do we? I think that item alone basically says everybody in the world should want to practice Tai Chi. Lack of focus. As I get older, I take on more and more mental challenges. Every day I do games and practices to exercise my brain, because it's like a muscle. It's not a muscle, but it's like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it doesn't stay fit. Well, being in focus with your meditation or being in focus with your Tai Chi really wards off some of those issues. And Tai Chi helps with that. Lethargic. If you don't have enough energy, feeling a little lazy, well, you know what? Tai Chi is easy to do. It's not like running a 10K or a marathon. It's easy to do. And it helps create more energy to deal better with something like lethargy. Objectives of Tai Chi. I think this is probably redundant of what I've spoken earlier, but let me quickly run through it. Develop more integration of mind and body with the breath and movement. We want the brain and the body to work better together. Have you ever been thinking about one thing and walking and all of a sudden realize you don't know where you walked to? Well, your mind and body weren't totally working together there. Or you've been driving and all of a sudden you don't recognize where you are and you don't remember anything for the last 5 or 10 minutes. That's a little bit of self-hypnosis, but it's also the mind and body not working together. So we want to integrate the mind and body to where they work better together, and you don't have those little bouts of where one does something and the other one's off doing something else. We want to improve balance with postural alignment and body awareness. Decrease stress. Slow down. Now, that's a specific objective of Tai Chi. Not only is it a tool we use in the practice, but it is a goal. We want to slow down because we speed by life. It's just our culture. We want to slow down and experience life. Enjoy life in that moment so that we actually enjoy it and don't think back about it and how we missed it. And overall, we want to be healthier. And that happens through Tai Chi when the body works more efficiently. Some expectations you may have from your class. After class, feel better, be happier, have a better mood. Maybe there could be a little soreness. not pain. If you felt pain, you did too much or you did something out of balance, but a little soreness, but that should go away quickly. And that's just a sign that, hey, I did something. That's a good sign. Pain during or pain after are bad signs that you should have stopped. Joints may feel warm and maybe a little challenged, but not injured. We don't go for injury. You should actually look forward to the next class. You should feel that you're learning something and that you're progressing. The progression comes with practice. Show up in class as often as you can. If you're not progressing as fast as you want to, then start doing that 5-minute a day practice in between. You may feel the class went too fast. You might feel that the class went too slowly. Or you might just feel that the class went just the right speed for you. And that's because the class is a large number of people and it's impossible to tailor it perfect for everyone. So some people in the class are think I'm going too fast. Some are going to think I'm going too slowly. And some are going to think, hey, it's perfect for what I want today. But bear with me because I tend to go slow sometimes. I go fast sometimes. I change the speed up as I change content. And the next class might be just right for you. You can always get the recording and slow it down or speed it up. You know, work with me there, please, because I want to try to address everybody. Now, to adapt Tai Chi to meet your needs, always listen to your body. Your body is your best source of information here. Start to become aware of all the sensations and the feelings that are happening inside of you. Really focus your attention on all those subtleties taking place within your muscles, your ligaments, bones, and organs. I'm going to reiterate that quite often in class. Honor limits. Only move as much as your body comfortably allows. Now, those limits also mean honoring limits that your physician has set. That is the first rule. Honor what your physician has told you not to do or to do. Then honor the limits that your body is telling you to do or not to do. And intellectually, you know you shouldn't do. Third, follow me. Focus on making your movements smooth and flowing. Practice gentleness with your knees. You want a little soft, bouncy sensation there. Consider meditation, breathing, and visualization. This just means in the practice, learn to visualize what you're doing. And I'll talk about that from time to time, but more important, the breath. Always breathe. Don't hold your breath. Constantly breathe soft and comfortable and naturally. Consider that you are doing a meditative movement. Now, okay. Practice guidelines are mindfulness, slow movement, postural alignment, weight separation, breath awareness, integrated movement, active relaxation, and mind-body principles. You don't have to memorize this. These are guidelines that I'm going to bring out in the classes. Usually at the first of each class, I choose one of these, talk about it for a few minutes, and then bring it up a couple of times during the class because we want to start integrating all of these guidelines into the training and the practice. So just be aware that I'm going to be bringing these up. Now, for today, we have a practice agenda. We're going to practice Wuji, W-U-J-I, the universal posture. We're going to learn and practice the commencement form and the open and close form. This is just to give you a little taste of what Tai Chi is, what it's like to be in a class. Now, I want to show you something, so I'm going to get rid of the slides. And I'm going to spotlight myself. Spotlight for there we go. Now, I recommend practicing in flat shoes. Now that means something like tennis shoes, or you can go online and you can buy something called a Tai Chi shoe. I paid $12 for these 8 years ago, somewhere online, eBay or Amazon. And they other than being a little dirty, they're as sturdy as they were the day they were born, but they're made out of very flimsy cotton cloth and some sort of rubber like cotton sole, but they're perfect because they're not too sturdy. They're kind of rubbery, but they give you enough support and traction. So I like using these, but if you don't have Tai Chi shoes, just grab your tennis shoes or some deck shoes. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have done that. I got dirt all over my desk and dog hair. Okay, so I'm putting on my shoes, which kind of signals me psychologically that I'm ready to practice. Now you're welcome to stay seated, or you can come standing with me. I'm going to change it, give another camera there to give a little different perspective. Probably the most important form that we do is called Wuji. You just stand tall, stretch your head up to the sky, tuck your chin just a little, just like tuck that chin down maybe a 1/4 inch. It'll straighten your neck vertebra. Pretend that there's a weight at the end of your spine, and that weight just pulls that tip of the spine down maybe a 1/2 inch. And that's going to rotate your hips a little bit. Notice how it helps me push my knees out a little bit. That softens my knees. And that's the next point of Wuji, is soft knees. So stand tall, stretch your head up to the sky, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, soften your knees. Your feet should be basically hips width apart. Now, some people need a little bit more width. I kind of take a little more width too. I often practice with shoulder width apart. So if you want shoulder width apart versus hip, go for it. If you need a little bit more, just don't go too wide, but you want to have good solid support. You want to feel a nice connection with the earth and balanced. You want to feel like you're balanced right down the center of your body. Let me drop my glasses. Let's talk about that balance. Just imagine that there's a line coming down the center of your body. It goes all the way to the center of the earth. How's that? And as you tilt, or let me say, as you lean to one foot, bring that weight over to that foot, that line moves over to your kneecap. Now bring that line over to the other knee. I consider this your center of gravity. So you're balanced in the center with that line right down through your chest. You're balanced on one foot. This is my right, when that line's through my knee and through my ankle. Line's moving back to center, and now the line's back on my left foot. The reason we pay attention to this is because before you lift a foot, if that line's in the middle of the body and you lift a foot, you're imbalanced. You're going to fall back down. You have no choice, actually. You got to do something to stop the fall. But if you bring the weight firmly to one foot, then you can lift that foot and even hold it up before coming down. Let me go back to this one. This is a challenge for me because of my peripheral neuropathy. But in Tai Chi, we take safe steps. Humans walk naturally by just sort of falling forward and catching yourself. That's just how we're made. That's how primates are made. We catch that way. But in Tai Chi, we start teaching ourselves. I'm going to sneeze. Bear with me just a moment. Nothing like allergies, is there? But in Tai Chi, we want to change that a little bit. So I'm going to take my weight to my right foot, lift the left safely, put it out heel and toe, bring my weight to the left foot. Now my weight's on the left foot, so I can lift the right foot and put it down. My weight's back to the right foot, so I'm going to lift that left foot, heel, toe. This is very well balanced walking versus our falling walk. That's it. And the fact that you're training to do this, you're starting to become more aware of where your feet are, more aware of your center of gravity. Now, so let's come back to our Wuji. Wuji is also called universal posture. It's if you take yoga, you probably know mountain posture. It's very similar to mountain posture, except in Wuji, we soften the shoulders and let the hands just dangle. In Wuji, the arms just dangle. Where in mountain posture, you kind of come to attention, open the chest, and the palms go forward. But in Wuji, we relax into the pose. Actually, people meditate in Wuji. Every once in a while in class, we'll do a short meditation in Wuji. So the phrase find your Wuji means stand tall with your feet hips width or shoulder width apart. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, and soften your knees and relax your shoulders. That's find your Wuji. The only thing left for your Wuji is to start your breath slowly into your belly. Not your chest, but breathe into your belly. A nice, comfortable breath. Nothing forced, nothing extremely long. You may notice on each exhale, you just soften those shoulders again. That's your Wuji, and we use that in every session. So find your Wuji. You're an expert in Wuji now. I'm going to stand sideways to show you what I'm going to do, but commencement form looks like this. Let me just demo it for you. I'm going to do it the other way. Commencement is just, I'm starting my practice. You do it one time at the start of practice. So let me teach you commencement now. Find your Wuji. Bring your weight to the right foot. Lift your left foot and put the heel down in a very small step, and then lower your foot flat on the floor and bring your weight to the left foot and lift that right foot and let it join the left. So that's the footwork. We just take one step forward, weight to the right foot, step out with the left, let the right join the left. There's your footwork for commencement. The upper body, it's got a little more work to do. The upper body, you rotate the shoulders. Now, when you rotate the shoulders and bring the arms up, the elbows are soft. Notice how my arms are not straight. They're almost like a little curve to them. So you want soft elbows, you want soft wrists. The hands just sort of dangle. Come up to about chest, and then you drop the arms down, letting those hands come down. The hands are going to come down and then start coming towards your belly button. Once they get close to the belly button, they're going to come up the chest. Then they're going to reach out. Your elbows are going to bend and the hands are going to come back to chest. I call this drawing the letter U. Notice how your hands come down to the belly button and come up. So in my directions, I'll often say, draw the letter U. So let's do that together. Just the upper body. Find your Wuji. Commencement form. Rotate the shoulders. The hands come up. The palms are facing each other. They come down, drawing that letter U towards your belly button. They come up the chest. Reach out about 70 or 80% of your reach. And then back in as the elbows bend. That's commencement form. Now let's put it all together. We'll put the footwork and the arms together. So find your Wuji. You might want to just shift your weight on one foot and the other to kind of feel your balance. So commencement form is rotating the shoulders. Draw the letter U. As the hands come up the chest, bring your weight to the right foot. Step out with the left foot, heel, toe, and reach forward. Bring the right foot to join the left, elbows down. That's commencement. Very good. Let's do that together. I'm going to just face you this time so I can see what's going on the screen better. So find your Wuji. Rotate the shoulders. Draw the letter U. Bring your weight to the right foot. Step out with the left. Reach out with the arms. Bring the right foot to join the left. Elbows down. And that's commencement. Very good. Very good. That was the hard one for today. The other form we're going to do is called open and close. It's really easy. Your hands are at heart center and they're curved like you're holding a ball or a cantaloupe, about cantaloupe size, or a small ball. Notice how my hands are soft and the fingers are curved with the palm to hold that ball. You might even want to start considering that it could be an energy ball and just visualize that there's an energy ball there. But the open and close is separating the hands a couple of inches and then bringing them back together. I have to do this in a certain pattern with my breath. I inhale and I exhale. If another pattern works for you, go for it. But this is what I do. And it serves me well because on the exhale, I relax my body. Soft the shoulders, sink into my knees again. I straighten a little bit on the inhale. Lift because I filled up my lungs. Empty my lungs. Inhale. You may find me referring to this as pulsing because we pulse with the hands sometimes, where you pulse that energy ball. And an open and close is just one single pulse. Let's put it all together. Find your Wuji. Commence. Rotate the shoulders. Soft arms, soft wrist. Draw the letter U as you sink into your knees a little bit. The hands come toward your belly button. As they come up the chest, bring your weight to the right foot. Step out with the left. As your weight comes down on that left foot, reach forward. You're still in good balance. Bring the weight to the left foot. Bring that right foot to join. Elbows down. And there's your open and close. The nice thing about open and close is we use it as a connector form. We connect different sequences using an open and close. So an open and close is either saying we're going to start a sequence or we just finished a sequence. The commencement you do one time at the start of your practice, and then you start your open and close and do a sequence, open and close, do another sequence, open and close, do another sequence, and continue your practice as long as you want to. It's just a mix and match of those sequences then. So, and we're not going to get into the long sequences today. That's for the beginners class. We're just going to talk about getting you prepped for it. So I want to teach you one more form. Bring the left hand up with the fingers together. That is a symbol of friendship. You take the thumb and you tuck it in. That's humility. The right hand, make a fist. Really strong. This is aggression or power, strength. Well, you bring the left hand over the right at an angle. And that shows how Tai Chi is composed of all of these factors. But the power, the energy, and the strength is contained by humility and friendship. A slight bow is a sign of respect. So let's just do that once together. So bring your left hand up, tuck the thumb in, put it over the right fist, and a short bow for respect. We call that the Tai Chi salute. It's literally just a form of introduction or a form of respect. So let's go back and practice our Wuji. So find your Wuji. Remember that just means stand tall, stretch the spine up, and then relax the body. Tuck the chin, soften the shoulders, tuck your tailbone, bouncy knees. Now, notice I'm not squatting. I'm just a little soft in the knees, just a little. We talked about the schools earlier, Shin would be more like this. Shin would be horse stance. We don't do that. That's really rough on the knees unless you're very well trained. In Sung style, it's just soft knees. So don't overdo it. Find your Wuji. Let's take the weight to one side for just a moment and the other. This is just a good practice to get yourself in the mood of your Tai Chi. Bring yourself back to center. Nice slow breaths into your belly. Commence. Rotate the shoulders. Allow the hands to come down and draw toward your belly button. You're kind of sinking a little into the knees while the hands are coming down. The hands come toward the belly button, and then they start coming up the chest as you bring the weight to the right foot. By the time your hands are at chest level, step out with that left foot. Find your balance as you put the weight on that left foot and reach forward, keeping a nice straight back. Bring that right foot to join the left. Elbows down for an open and a close. Let me talk about posture for a minute. We have a tendency, all of us do, that when we reach forward, we lean into it. You know, it's like I'm gonna get a book from the shelf. We lean. That's just natural for us. In Tai Chi, we start teaching ourselves not to lean. Reach for that book with a nice straight back. So when we make a movement like commencement, we have a tendency to want to lean into it. You know, that's just the way we're built. But teach yourself not to. So when you find yourself leaning, go, oops, I'm leaning again, just correct it. And you will catch yourself. You'll see me do it. It's something you just constantly have to correct, especially when you're reaching out here. This one right here, I have a tendency to want to lean into it, but you don't want to. You want to keep that back nice and straight. So when we talk about postural alignment, it's all about keeping the shoulders and the spine in one unit. You know, we're not really twisting. We do a little bit of that in Shibashi and in Qigong, but in Sung style Tai Chi, we're not twisting the spine. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. We're not twisting the hips or the knees. We're keeping the lower body stable and only twisting the upper body. That makes more sense to say it that way. So the head, the neck, and the torso stays one unit. Later, when we're doing arm and hand movements, the eyes follow the hands and the shoulders turn with it, but not the hips, not the knees. So postural alignment is keeping the upper body as one unit. We'll get into that more in class. But postural alignment is keeping the upper body as one unit and not leaning. So let's come back to our Wuji and practice what we've learned again. Commencement or commence. Rotate the shoulders. Drop the hands. Bring them toward the belly button and bring your weight to the right foot. As the hands come up the chest, your weight is on the right foot, so you can step out with the left. Reach forward without leaning. Bring your weight to the left foot. Bring the right to join. Elbows down. Open and close. Now, at the end of your formal session, like when I'm doing a 30 or 40-minute class of movement, or when you do your 5 minutes or 10 minutes at home, at the end of the session, you do a formal close. You reach forward and allow the hands just to drift down. That's a formal close. Now, another formal close, which is one I like, is the hands come out, come to, say, the chest or the neck, palms down, and you push energy down the spine or return energy to the earth, however you want to look at it. So you straight and stand up straight, inhale, and exhale as you push energy down. Inhale, do 3 of these at the end of your practice. To me, it just feels good to do this little exercise at the end. One more for measure. Inhale. Notice how I'm sort of floating on my knees. Not deep, no squatting. What I recommend, especially for people who are just starting, is pick a form that we studied in class, maybe open and close. And until the next class, just focus on that one form. Find your Wuji and then bring your hands together and open and close. And start becoming aware. Go inward into your mind and body. Maybe bring your awareness right there between the hands if you like. And start trying to be aware of, what am I feeling? What do my fingers feel like? What are my hands? What am I feeling in my hands? What am I feeling in my knees and my shoulders? Is everything relaxed? Can I relax a little bit more? This is where the depth comes from. That's why there's no end in depth, because you can always dig a little deeper. As I separate my hands, do I feel like I'm pulling energy away? Can I feel energy pulling back as I let go? Maybe you don't, and that's fine too. What you don't feel is just as important as what you feel. So you can take one form, like you can take that one form and study for the next year if you want. I want you to come back and learn some more forms, but the point is you can study one form as deep as you want to. It's better to practice one form and really dig deep into feeling it than it is to memorize 180 forms and just move through the forms and ignore. I saw a YouTube video yesterday where someone was teaching a sequence in Tai Chi, and I could tell the person wasn't feeling it. The person was just, here's the mechanics. You move here, you move here, you move. That's not Tai Chi. That's just memorizing movements. Tai Chi is when you feel it. I would rather have seen her stand there with opening close for 30 minutes and talk people into delving deeper into the form or deeper into their breath. That's Tai Chi. Okay, with that being said, I'm on my soapbox now. With that being said, let's come seated. And I've changed some things around and I've confused myself. Let's see. Oh, I see why I confused myself. Okay. What's next? You guys now have learned your first three forms. You've learned Wuji, you've learned commencement, and you've learned open and close. You're ready to learn a sequence. So come to Tai Chi for Beginners. Come to every one of the classes that you can make, because I'm working on two sequences. One is called single whip and one's called brush the knee. And you just keep switching them back and forth, doing one left, one right, and just create your own practice, stringing them together. You'll start the practice with what I taught you today. You'll end the practice with what I taught you today too. And then you'll do these sequences in between. You can make it 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can practice as long as you want to. The point is, attend as often as you can. In the class, I will teach you the mechanics and we'll do a little bit of practice. So even if you don't do that personal practice on the other days, you will get some practice in class. But you will benefit much more and gain ground faster if you do a practice routine as minimal as 5 minutes a day, maybe just before you go to bed or right before awakening. To be truthful, I think it's very relaxing to do it just before bedtime. And if you miss a day, no big deal. Just come back to the practice as soon as you can. Lessons to be learned. I think I already spoke of this. It's better to be comfortable and experienced with one form than it is to learn the mechanics of 108 forms. Reach to feel the movement. Again, it doesn't matter what you feel in the movement. It just matters that you try to feel it and just see what sensations are there. Slower is always better. You cannot practice your Tai Chi too slowly. Now, that doesn't mean when you're learning the mechanics, you might want to go faster. I think it's kind of wise when you're first learning the mechanics to go a little quickly, just so you can get a lot more iterations in your practice to help build that mind and body connection. And then when you've kind of got it down to where you don't have to think so much on the mechanics, start slowing it down. And if you get the mechanics wrong, but you honor the guidelines I'm laying out, the postural guidelines, etc., well, you're practicing Tai Chi correctly. Learning the correct form mechanics is just the first step. And you don't have to be perfect in the mechanics. Just be close to them. Follow the meaning of the movements. If you're waving hands in the clouds, has your lower hand palm down versus palm toward your belly, don't panic. There's no Tai Chi police that are going to come arrest you. It's more important to do it and than it is to get it perfect. The more you practice, the bigger your reward. That's a simple formula right there. The more you do, the more you get. I think music makes things better. In the regular class, I will play some soft music along with our study. In this session, I did not, because I just kind of wanted to make sure I made everything clear. But in the typical Tai Chi for beginner, I will have some soft music playing in your 5-minute or 10-minute a day practice, if you should so choose to have one. I recommend putting on some soft, easy listening music, classical or nature sounds. But if you're a person who relaxes when it's silence that you hear, then practice in silence. You should practice with whatever sounds or audio that helps you relax. So use your own judgment there. Thank you for coming today. Here at GetSetUp, we really appreciate hearing about your experiences. So please share your experiences on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you don't want to post them there, I'm not much on social media. For me, I would send my experiences to Liz, Liz at getsetup.io. Liz is our social media guru, and she'll take care of it. She'll post your experience on the website blog so that other people can see what's happening with you, what you're enthusiastic about. Now, some other classes you may want to try that are related to Tai Chi. Well, all my classes, well, all but one are related to Tai Chi in some way. But Qigong, the original basis for Tai Chi, I highly recommend checking out some of the Qigong classes here, because what you learn in Qigong will pay off in Tai Chi. What you learn in Tai Chi will pay off in Qigong. They're complementary. So you might want to check out some Qigong classes. You might want to check out some slow flow yoga classes. If you like a movement class that is flowing like Tai Chi, slow flow yoga might be something that you would enjoy too. In yoga, there are no preset patterns of the flow, but each teacher can decide which exercises they want to do in what sequence. So it'll be a little different there. You don't memorize, you just follow the teacher. So you might want to give that a try. Now, for me, my next classes are Tai Chi for beginners. That is the staple session for Tai Chi. You come to it as often as you can, and you practice with me as often as you can. A companion class is Tai Chi Shibashi. It's a little different. It's also a sequence. Shibashi means 18 in Chinese. And Shibashi consists of 18 exercises that are gentle, easy to do, but they move every part of the body. So when you come to one of my...
high.
I'm sorry?
18 is high for life.
I'm sorry if I got it wrong. I just quoted what I studied.
No, I'm just saying in a different culture, 18 is a magic number meaning life.
Is it really?
Yes.
Maybe that was the source of why they chose to do 18 exercises for Shibashi. Well, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
It is.
Could I ask a question?
Sure, we can go into questions. What you got?
I have, is Shibashi similar to Tai Chi Chi? Because that's what I took, and I'm just curious.
Tai Chi Cha or Tai Chi Chuan?
No, Tai Chi Chi, CHIH.
I don't know that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I live in New Mexico, a block from the Tai Chi Center, and I've been doing it for years, and it's 21 poses, I think. So I was just curious.
Well, it might be similar in the fact. Well, let me explain. Shibashi is not ancient like Tai Chi. You know, Tai Chi is thousands of years. Shibashi, about 50 years ago, a professor in China just decided he was going to create Shibashi. So maybe your studio created something similar with the 21, you know.
Well, it's from Justin Stone, originally out of California.
Ah, okay. So he probably created that version.
It might interest you. It might interest you just because, you know, all of the other things. And
I'll check into it now that you've told me. You said Justin Stone?
Yes.
I'll check into it because I'm always curious what people are doing.
I've been doing it since the 80s, and it's very good and easy to once you learn it. And it's very popular here.
Tell you what, come to my Shibashi class, and then afterwards tell me if it's similar.
Yes, I will. And by the way, your Sit and Be Fit class was just perfect. Wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It's my radically different class. What is it? Is it pronounced Grisha?
Grisha.
Grisha. What Grisha is referring to is my newest class, which is Sit and Get Fit, which is not mindful. It's not meditative. It's aerobic. So if you want to do some fitness in a chair, come to my Sit and Get Fit classes, and we're going to exercise. So I'm glad to hear you enjoyed that.
Was wonderful.
So everything else I do is slow and meditative, but Sit and Get Fit is let's get the blood flowing. The other class I teach is Kundalini Yoga, which is a therapeutic form of yoga. I teach it for chair and our mat, and it's easier to experience than to explain. But if you've ever done yoga, you will find that this is radically different than Hatha yoga. So just come give it a try. And let's see, how are we doing? Oh, we got a couple of minutes. Let me get through these slides and we'll chat. Let's see. This is important. After class, I'll send out some notes. And in the notes, you have an option.
I just did this sharing something cultural. I didn't say Jewish. I didn't say.
I just said something.
I think we're having a conversation there. Please give your feedback. It means a lot to Get Set Up, and it means a lot to me, so that we can know how things are going in the classes. They have 5 different points in the feedback. One is you give 1 to 5 stars of rating the session, 1 to 5 stars in rating the guide. I'm the guide. The session is Tai Chi, what great for seniors. And so, I'll tell you, 5 stars mean a lot to me. So you be judicious. It's going to default to 4. But put in your comments. Tell us what was good, what was bad. We want to hear from you. And this 5th one down here is Get Up, Set Up in general. If you've got something that you think could be improved with Get Set Up, please tell us. That's how we're going to improve, is because you tell us something could be better. Or if there's something new you want to learn. I always joke that maybe you want to come up and put in a class like skydiving or motorcycle racing or something. But whatever you want to learn, propose it here, and if enough people want to learn the same thing, Get Set Up is great about going out and finding a teacher. But let's see.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure. I'm not seeing anybody light up. Who's talking?
It's Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. Yeah, what you want to ask?
The information that was on the prior screen that gave on the left, it gave all the contact information. No, not that. Yeah, that one.
Yep. Barbara, something happened to your audio. I see lips moving, but I'm not hearing you. And I don't see mute on.
I'd like to save that information. Is that possible?
To save it? Well, I tell you what, why don't you email help@getsetup.io and tell them to send you that information?
Okay.
They'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll do anything they can to help. But yeah, well, they're both going to, it's 2 words, Get Set Up. One's got the pound sign in front and one's got the @ sign. So maybe you make a quick note.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. When you book a class, you have an option to invite a friend. Please invite your friends, your neighbors, your relatives. Invite an enemy. You may make a friend out of them. Who knows? You may find a common interest. The GetSetUp community, and it is a great community. We're all a member of it. It needs your support in the sense of suggesting new classes, maybe hosting an interest group of something you have an interest in. Do you grow tulips? Host an interest group on tulip growing. Find some friends on GetSetUp and share information. If you're a member of any organization, or maybe you're associated to an organization that's dealing with assisted care, senior living, government, or community orgs, please send us the contact information to help@getsetup.io, because we'd love to reach out and see if they'd like to partner with us. Today's class was recorded. Just email help@getsetup.io. Obviously, that email address is important to hang on to. So help at getsetup.io. Just as I believe it was it Barbara was asking, if there's something that goes by too quickly and you need that information or you want it, you can always email help after the class. So keep that address, help@getsetup.io, and use it as much as you need to. That's who you contact for the recording. Let's see. Oh, here's something I want to share with you. And this will be in my notes. In my notes, when I send after class, I will send you this link of getsetup.io/series/Tai. You can go to this link and get a list of my classes, and you can book my classes directly from this address. Because I want to hang on to you guys. I want you to come back often. So that I see somebody's being smart and just photographing it. It'll be in the notes too, though.
That's a
What
good
did we
idea.
do without phone cameras? You know, that's my memory now. Okay. Well, that's it. I think we're out of time. I think I'm in overtime for the TA, and I can't afford to pay them as it is. So I'm joking. I don't pay the TA. But I'm glad you joined me today, and I hope if you haven't been to Tai Chi for Beginners, that I gave you enough information that you'll come give it a try, and try some of the other classes, especially Shibashi and Kundalini Yoga. And if you want some aerobic, come try the Sit and Get Fit. I do a more gentle class on Saturday morning and do a more vigorous class on Sunday evening. You'll see them both on my schedule. But you can adjust any class to be as vigorous or as gentle as you want it to be. But the intent is to be a little bit of aerobic, get some blood flowing. So with that being said, I'm going to say, yep, I'm after the hour. I'm going to say goodbye. Take care of yourself, folks. Hopefully see you in class soon.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.